All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Dreaming Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new review. We're in the Europa again. It still doesn't feel right talking about Arsenal in the Europa. And we played BATE Borisov. I'm going to really try and stick with calling them that during the course of this review. That's their name, so let me just try and call them that. I'm going to resist calling them BATE. I'll tell you what, it was our defense that was BATE. Particularly in that second half. This one an impressive performance. Now, on Twitter, if you do follow me on Twitter, and if you don't, I don't even know what you're waiting for. Follow me at Colossal Chick. I announced pretty quickly that, I'm going to have to take the blame for this second half performance because I don't know what the fuck happened. First of all, I found out this morning that kickoff was at 6. Now, I'm still not used to these Europa League ties, but there are sometimes, every now and again, when you play in the Europa League and you travel away to Europe, you're going to have to play some ties at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock sometimes. I live about an hour, 20 minutes away from my workplace. In fact, I did it in record time. I've never walked. I basically had to jog for my tube just to get there on time. Tube being a subway for those of you that don't live in England. And I more or less power walked. I know, a big guy like me, power walk, are you sure? Well, it was power walking for me, motherfuckers. Right? I power walked all the way home, right? And then my phone kept going off. I thought 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. I thought, okay, what? And Theo Walcott's tearing it up. Blimey. And I was pissed at the same time because I thought, we're finally destroying a team, and typically my luck, I'm running late for it. So I switch it on. And the very first thing I see is Ospina. I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh on Ospina. I don't know. I didn't like his starting position at all. But they score. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, this is Arsenal. It'd be weird if we did keep a clean sheet. Maybe this is just a blip. Get 3 more goals. Blow these motherfuckers away, no problem, right? And then kind of an ordinary finish to the first half. I thought to myself, okay, all right, I'm not worried. Wenger will tell them to control it. We might grab another couple of goals, 5-1 away in the Europa League. We'll give the boys some confidence. I must have went into a time warp or something, or put some black magic, or for those of you who are African who understand this phrase, put some juju on them or something. Because I stepped into the second half of this game, sat down, chilling, bottle of water. I thought, yeah, cool. Let's watch Arsenal run these guys over. And then, bar the fact that we got a penalty, which, yes, okay, was a penalty, in the sense that, it was a bit of a dirty challenge on my man, on Giroud. And Giroud took the penalty well. Giroud is a good penalty taker, so I'm not that surprised. But it was pretty much all them. I thought to myself, what the fuck are we doing? Like, the front 6 all were playing pretty well, right? Now, I know I'm going to come back to Theo Walcott. Give me a second with Theo, right? But our backline, our defense, I don't know what we were doing. I heard that Reece Nelson had a good first half. The reason why I'm late to this now is because I just wanted to rewatch the highlights a little bit just to see the goals and see what I missed. And, Reece played decently well from what I could gather. But I didn't think Mertesacker had a particularly good game. I didn't think Holding had a great game. Weirdly, I actually thought Maitland-Niles probably played the best out of the defense. No, tell a lie, Mustafi was all right. Mustafi was all right. No, I'll stick with that. Thinking about it, because Mustafi made one horrible mistake. I thought to myself, oh, you've got no excuse. Maitland-Niles probably played the best out of the defense. And Ospina, I'm telling you, I don't know what he was doing. I know their keeper made a horrendous mistake for Theo's second goal. But to me, as a goalkeeper, when you save something, like he did it just before he conceded, he made a brilliant point blank save. And to be fair, just before he conceded, it was a point blank save. But maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some goalies that are listening to this. I thought when you're in goal, the first thing they teach you is if you're able to reach it, the first thing you should be thinking of is get it away from in front of me. Palm it anywhere to the side so that a rebound, someone who's rebounding the goal is not able to score. So he had this header, which, all right, it was a decent save, but let's not glorify it. Ospina should have palmed it either direction. He palmed it straight in front of him, and my man scored the second goal. And I thought to myself, this can't be the same Arsenal team where half an hour, 45 minutes ago, my phone was buzzing off, talking about 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. So the only conclusion I can draw to it is they knew that I was about to come and watch, so they thought, fuck it. Just because Chig's coming to watch, I'm going to start to fuck up. I was not impressed. Not impressed. I don't give a damn. There was only two people I was very impressed with in that performance. And guess what? Theo ain't one of them. I thought he did all right. He scored 2 goals. How much can I really criticize him? But there was an opportunity that he had to pass it to Jack, right? Now I get that he's on a hat trick. But sometimes this is why I have to say Theo and his footballing brain are not, the two things don't belong in the same sentence. Anyone else, I don't care if you're on a hat trick, anyone else in that position would have thought to themselves, right, realistically, I have a guy right next to me and a guy right in front of me. Maybe I should pass it to the guy who's right next to me and is all alone and can slot in. I think at the time it was 3-1, right? It's that this motherfucker starts to run at this fool in front of him, takes a shot that was never on, and Jack quite rightly is just turning his head in disgust like, pass, what are you doing, mate? Pass it. It was incredible. Incredible. Mind you, if you're me, remember, you ain't seen the Theo Walcott goals at this point. I've since seen them. But you ain't seen the Theo goals at this point. All you saw was that. And I thought, for fuck's sake, what kind of bullshit is that? I don't care if you're on a hat trick. Pass it to your teammate. What kind of single-minded shit is that? Anyway, so that pissed me off. But Jack was very impressed with him. And listen, before you guys get at me, yes, he was on my chopping block. I will hold my hands up and admit it. I said we should cut loose. But I never said we should cut loose because I didn't think he was good enough. I said we should cut loose because the motherfucker can't stay fit. But if he can stay fit, quite frankly, he deserves a place in the Arsenal squad before Xhaka does. In fact, until Ramsey's recent form, I'd have him in the Arsenal squad before Ramsey. So, to be fair, I think Xhaka's playing really well. And to be honest, spoiler alert, I'd start him ahead of Xhaka on Sunday. I'll be honest. I think he's proving himself to be on form, to really want this. Reward him. What's the worst that can happen? He can't be any worse than Xhaka. He might be better. I'm almost certain at this point that he will be. So, for me, I thought Jack was easily man of the match. He put Theo Walcott's first goal basically on a plate for Theo. In fact, Theo almost missed it. Now, to be fair to Theo, it was a good save. Basically, Jack hit a 1-2 with Drew. Then Jack crossed it. Theo was 3-4 yards out, if that. Headed it. The keeper made a brilliant save. And then the ball basically rebounded to Theo Walcott's feet. And then he managed to get it over the top of the keeper. No, not over the top. To the right-hand side of the keeper. I mean, he basically, and every time I saw him, he was just pinging around the ball, moving the ball. Clearly, he relishes that number 10 spot. And maybe I need to start eating my words, because I was saying recently on my last video that I'm not necessarily convinced by Jack as a number 10. I think he's a better number 8 as a quarterback role. But I tell you what, he can do both. He really can. He can do both. So fair play to Jack. I thought he was brilliant. And then I thought the best out of the youngsters, surprisingly, was Chris Willock. Chris Willock. I'm sorry, Joe Willock. I thought he was brilliant. Easily the best performance I've seen him. Slotted next to El Nene, which was the surprise of the night. And I thought performed really well. Tired towards the second half. Particularly the back end of the second half. And then he eventually got substituted for Eddie Nikita. But I thought did really well. I thought Nelson did well in bits. Again, from the large part of the game that I saw. But he was nothing spectacular. All in all, that was really, to be honest, there wasn't any other particularly special performances outside of Willock and Wilshire, to be honest. Theo got 2 goals, so maybe I'm being too harsh on him. I just felt like between that chance and a couple of other chances that I saw he was pretty wasteful of, I'm still not convinced by Theo. He still needs to do a lot more for me. I don't really care if he gets hat tricks. Just have a contribution to the team. You know, he got a lot of criticism last week that a lot of people didn't like, was the fact that he scored was it last week? He scored last week and people were still criticizing him. As an attacking midfielder, I'm looking for the contribution you make to the team. So yes, that does mean goals as well, but that also means what are you doing for the rest of the team? And when you have an opportunity where clearly you don't have a chance of scoring, and then you have a guy right next to you who you know would have meant a lot to score, and you don't just hit it to the side, I'm sorry, to me, that's some unforgivable shit. And that's why I will never rate Theo Walcott. I've tried. I really have tried. I've tried to back him as much as possible. But for me, his contract's up season after this. Sorry, end of next season. And to me, end of his summer, let his punk ass go. Let him go. But anyway, all in all, it's a win. It's not a convincing win. And my bad. I guess I put some sort of X on them in the second half. But all in all, it's a win. And that's all that matters. Good experience for the youngsters. They're getting good exposure. We should be able to absolutely walk this group without even using one first teamer, which is also a positive. Let's see what happens next game. Next game is Brighton in the Premier League, and the next game in Europa is Red Star Belgrade, who the last time I checked were winning away. So that might be a difficult game. But anyway, guys, you let me know what you think. Am I being too harsh? I can imagine you guys will think that. Am I being too harsh with Theo? What did you guys think of Jack's performance? And what did you think of the team's performance? I know everybody hates Chris, so am I to blame for the second half? You let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you're listening to me for the first time, absolutely bitch slap the crap out of that like button. You know I appreciate every time you do it. Those likes really do help. So thank you for each and every one of you that hits that. And also, if you're listening to me for the first time, hit the subscribe button. And if you've already subscribed, share this with someone who pretends I don't exist. That's my new line. Because there are a lot of people that do, trust me. So do share it with people, spread the word, tell them I'm putting good content out there. Just to give you a little idea of my schedule over the next couple of days, I would say sometime Friday, I'll drop the Brighton preview. And then on Sunday, I'm going to have 2 special guests, one of them being Ola, and one of them I'm waiting for a confirmation from, but it should be someone who is making their debut on this channel. So I'll let you know when he confirms it. So anyway, guys, I'm out of here, people. Take care. Peace.